Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm excited to kick off today's session on paraphrasing and summarizing. This presentation is designed specifically for advanced learners of academic English. We'll explore key strategies to help you express ideas clearly and concisely. Over the next few slides, I'll guide you through essential techniques and tips to strengthen your academic writing skills. Let's get started. Paraphrasing and summarizing are two of the most effective strategies to avoid plagiarism in academic writing. When we paraphrase, we rephrase the original information in our own words, which helps us better understand the material and present it uniquely. Summarizing, on the other hand, involves condensing the main ideas into a shorter form, capturing the essence without copying verbatim. This video lesson will focus on techniques for paraphrasing as part of note-taking and summarizing processes. We'll also go over the basic steps needed to produce accurate and effective summaries. Hello and welcome. Throughout this presentation, I'll guide you through these methods to help you develop your skills in academic writing. Remember, mastering paraphrasing and summarizing not only helps you avoid plagiarism, but also enhances your understanding and communication of complex ideas. So, let's dive into the key concepts and practical techniques that will support your learning journey. Let's talk about paraphrasing. Paraphrasing is all about rephrasing information in your own words, which helps ensure you really understand the material. Paraphrasing means changing the wording of a text so that it is significantly different from the original source, without changing the meaning. It's a crucial skill in academics because it helps you avoid plagiarism while still showing you understand the material. Effective paraphrasing demonstrates your grasp of the source material and allows you to incorporate information into your work in a way that reflects your own voice. Remember, the key is to reword the text thoroughly, but keep the original meaning intact. This skill connects directly to our overall theme of academic integrity and good research practices. So, mastering paraphrasing is not just about avoiding penalties. It's about developing a deeper understanding and engaging more critically with sources. Let's take a closer look at the elements of effective paraphrasing. First, it's important to understand that successful paraphrasing involves more than just rewording a sentence. It requires capturing the original meaning accurately while expressing it in your own words. This helps ensure clarity and avoids plagiarism. Another key point is to focus on the core ideas rather than just swapping out words. This means truly understanding the message and then conveying it in a way that fits your voice and the context of your writing or speech. Highlighting the most important concepts is crucial because it keeps your paraphrasing concise and relevant. You want to emphasize what truly matters, avoiding unnecessary details that could dilute the main point. Finally, connecting these paraphrased ideas back to the overall theme of your presentation helps maintain coherence. When we look at effective paraphrasing, there are some key elements to keep in mind. First, it's essential to understand the original idea thoroughly so you can rephrase it accurately. You want to stay true to the meaning but present it differently. Another important aspect is making your paraphrase clear and natural, so it sounds like your own voice. This helps avoid plagiarism and ensures your writing flows smoothly. Connecting this to our overall theme, mastering paraphrasing enhances your ability to communicate ideas clearly and ethically, whether you're summarizing complex research or explaining concepts in your own words. So remember, effective paraphrasing is about accuracy, clarity, and maintaining the essence of the original information. This slide highlights that the structure of this particular concept or system is quite different from the original. It mainly uses a different vocabulary, but the core meaning remains unchanged. You'll notice that some familiar phrases, like Industrial Revolution or references to the 18th century, are still present, helping to anchor the idea in its historical context. The key takeaway here is that even when the wording varies, the fundamental message stays consistent. This approach allows us to see how concepts can be communicated in multiple ways while preserving their essential significance. It's a great example of how language flexibility can still deliver the same powerful ideas. Let's take a closer look at techniques for paraphrasing. Some key techniques include changing the sentence structure, using synonyms, and altering the order of information. For example, if the original sentence is long and complex, you can break it into shorter, clearer sentences. Or you can replace specific words with their synonyms to make the text more your own. Another useful approach is to focus on the main idea and express it differently, perhaps from a different perspective. For example, instead of saying argues, we might use claims to capture the same idea. When we refer to the 18th century, it's often clearer to say 1700s for simplicity. Similarly, instead of wages, we can use labor to discuss work and compensation. And when talking about costs, it's useful to think of it as saving or economic considerations. Now, let's look at how changing the word class can help us paraphrase more effectively. For example, the noun explanation can be transformed into the verb explain. Similarly, the adjective mechanical can become the verb mechanize, and the adjective profitable can be turned into the noun profitability. These changes are useful because they allow us to express the same idea in different ways, which can make our writing more varied and engaging. Remember, the key is to understand how different word classes relate to each other so you can switch between them smoothly. Let's take a look at this idea of changing word order. Let's take a closer look at exercise 1. This exercise is designed to help us apply the concepts we've discussed so far in a practical way. Let's move on to exercise 2. This part is really about applying what we've learned so far, so I want you to focus on the key points. Let's move on to exercise 3. In this exercise, we'll focus on applying the concepts we've discussed so far. Summarizing is a flexible tool that you can adapt to different writing needs. You might use it to give a quick, one-sentence overview of an article, or you might include much more detail if that's what's required. The key is that no matter the length or purpose, there are some basic steps you should always follow to create a good summary. First, you want to explain the key points thoroughly, but in a conversational way, making it easy to understand. Then, it's important to highlight the most significant concepts so your audience can grasp the main ideas quickly. Lastly, connect these points back to the overall theme of your presentation, helping to reinforce the main message and keep everything cohesive. Remember, a well-crafted summary is both clear and connected, serving as a useful tool to communicate effectively. Now, let's look at the 5 stages of summary writing. First, you start by reading the original text carefully. It's important to check for any new or difficult vocabulary so you understand the content fully. Next, you mark the key points by underlining or highlighting. This helps you identify the most important information. Then, you make notes of these key points, paraphrasing where possible to put things in your own words. The 4th step is to write a summary from your notes, reorganizing the structure if needed to make it clear and logical. Finally, you check your summary to ensure it is accurate, making sure nothing important has been left out or changed. By following these stages, you create effective and concise summaries that capture the main ideas and connect well to the overall theme of your presentation. Like, share, and comment. If you found this content helpful or interesting, I'd really appreciate it if you could take a moment to engage. It helps us grow and reach more people who might benefit from this information. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and become a member if you want exclusive content and updates. Thank you so much for being here and for your support. That's what keeps this community going strong. Thanks again, and I look forward to connecting with you in future videos.